Good morning, everybody. Today, I wanted to chat with you guys a little bit about property classes. Okay, so especially once you get into the investment world, not so much with single-family houses, but multifamily for sure. And then also, whenever you're going to talk about it as an investment or rental property, usually you'll start to hear people talk about them in classes. Is it an A, B, C? What class is it? You would kind of say it's like grades. Now, one thing before I get too far into this is that you could have two teachers grading the same paper. They have their standards, but one might give it a B plus and another one might give an A minus. So there's not necessarily super 100%. This is always a C minus or something like that. Okay, so just know that there are some kind of leeway, but I'm going to hopefully educate you guys on some general numbers. Okay. When people talk about A-class properties, that is going to be a new property. Some people might say within the last 10 years. I'm going to say in Sioux Falls even probably the last 20 years. So 0 to 20 years. So it's less than a 20-year-old build. Okay, and it's new. If it's a rental property and it's a larger one, then you're going to be potentially having professional staff on site. You're going to have lots of amenities. Maybe there's pools, a sauna, a workout room, a dog park, that type of thing. Okay, so you guys can think of some of these in Sioux Falls where these would be at. Now, so when I see a property that is built in 2000 or newer, then I'm thinking it might be an A property. Okay, there's a high probability. Okay, so that is the A property. Now with the A properties, I don't see the value to them. In 20 years, they might need to be, updated and that type of thing. But if it was built 5 years ago, I probably can't improve the property too much. It's kind of as good as it can get right now, unless the management is not doing so well, and I might be able to come in there and increase some efficiencies. Okay, but my return on capital with my investors, and then also just what I'm looking for my own personal investment, the A class is going to be typically a lower risk, but then also a lot lower return. A part of that is because you're not going to have to fix stuff much, because you got so much life left on all the appliances, the structure, and that type of thing. Okay, so lower headache, lower risk, lower return. Okay, but very new. So then your B class, and people could say I haven't actually heard an A plus property that'd be like new construction, but I have heard A minus. Okay, because even in school sometimes you don't get the A plus. It's like there's an A or an A minus. So then the B, there could be a B plus, maybe a B or a B minus, but a lot of times people will say this is a B or a B minus or maybe a B plus. So they could go that whole range. Now for me, I would consider this, if I'm looking at apartment buildings, probably 20 to 50 years old. Okay, again, there's a lot of wiggle room here, and I'll talk about a couple variables. But so if I see that it is less than 50 years old, so what is that? Kind of between 1970s and 2000. Again, these are very general terms, but this is kind of how I'm going to look at it. All right, so now when we're getting away from the new, we're going to be looking at condition now too. All right, does it need a ton of updating? It's not a B class then. It's going to be a C class because we're going to have to put a ton of capital into it. Is it, the other piece of this, sorry if I'm giving you guys too much to chew on right now, but the location is a factor too. Sometimes people could say this is a C property in an A location. That means you could take a C property, which I'll get to in just a second, where you have to put in a lot of work, or a B property, but it's in an A location, as in like this is like the Taj Mahal or the best street to be on. This is a really nice neighborhood. That's going to be good for your residents at your properties, as well as being able to have the reputational capital and all that type of thing. Okay, so we have the A. The B, it's going to be some updates. I'm going to say that. So some updates, some reno required. Okay, not a ton. You're also going to have less amenities here. There may be an indoor or outdoor pool, maybe a community room. That's about it. Okay, again, this property might be close to 50 years old. You might have shake siding. Maybe it has a flat roof. So there may be some larger capital expenses that you still have to do, and it could still be considered a B property. Okay, in my opinion. Okay, again, some other people, they could say, well, no, that'd be a B minus, and you're calling it a B, or that type of thing. So then you have C. Okay, so C plus, C minus. So I personally feel that I actually purchased a property that was a C minus condition, and then after owning it for 2 years, I brought it up to a C plus. Okay, so I'm saying that because of the location and the condition, those two kind of together, I took it and I had a lot of deferred maintenance. Okay, so this one, it's going to be 50 plus years old. Okay, so my duplex was 110 years old. All right, that's going to be impossible, I think, to get to a B. All right, unless you like redo every single thing, wiring, plumbing, roof, siding, like it's a new building pretty much. Okay, well then maybe you're at a B. But still, the foundation, the location, that type of thing, I mean, really new build is going to be A. Okay, major rental, maybe a B. But a 100-year-old building, you're going to be in the C. Okay, and then I typically don't say D. D is like war class, like where you have crimes and shootings all the time. And there are, I would say, I don't know if there's necessarily a D class in Sioux Falls. You guys can comment below if you do think there is. Now, there are some pretty rough parts of town, but comparatively to some of the other, towns that you hear of, the crime rate in Sioux Falls is actually, I feel, pretty low. It's a really nice place to live, in my opinion. Okay, so your C, it's going to be 50 plus years old. There's going to be deferred maintenance. Okay, so I'm not even talking we should probably update the light fixtures and it might need a fresh coat of paint. I'm talking like the AC unit needs to be repaired or replaced. Same with the fridge, stove, siding, roof. So there's going to be various levels of work. Okay, so a C plus, C minus. The cool thing about this, is, as far as the investment world, is this is where people say there's a lot of value add. Maybe there's 3 out of the 6 vacant units on a C property. Okay, and they all need a lot of work. Well, then you come in there, you get the property, you do all new paint, carpet, appliances. All right, you fix all the deferred maintenance. You also renovate it. Okay, so it was a C minus, high vacancy, lots of deferred maintenance, and then you make it really nice. You get it fully rented out, you put some systems in place, maybe some professional property management, and then you made it from a C minus and now fully occupied. It's a lot better investment, a lot better place for tenants and residents to live, and now I would say it's a C plus. Okay, so this is where I know a lot of people are trying to invest in. They want C properties in an A location, and then they want to invest into the C to make it a better, maybe take it from a C minus to a B minus. That would be some heavy duty rehab. But so overall, A class, B class, C class. There's not a definite, it is 100% sure here. It will vary based on who you're talking to. But this is how I view it, and hopefully this was somewhat helpful. I'd love to see your guys' comments on this, and love to talk to you more about it. So you guys have a good one. Thanks.